Hello guys and welcome to Watching Time. Today we're going to discuss a little bit about this new 2021 Tudor. So as you know, for the ones that follow my channel or the ones that are starting to follow, if you like this video, please subscribe. It really helps us continue doing videos. And as you already know, all the watches that we review and that we give our opinion on are watches that we actually own. So our opinion is not based on whatever it's being said around on the internet. It's not a technical video. I don't want to go too deep into technicalities, but at the same time, it's a video that gives you the correct information, but especially the feeling of what these watches mean to us, what the daily wear of these watches is felt by us, and especially how we are wearing them, how we are using them, and that extra thing that the watches are going to give you. So as always, I was lucky. I think I was lucky actually. I don't, because they were actually presenting the watches, but they were not selling it. So I was lucky they were able to sell me one of these new Tudor chronograph, especially the Panda one. I have a weakness for the Panda one. I spend a lot of time looking at the new models, and what I can say is that definitely maybe one of the most interesting new watches that have been released now by Tudor is the silver 925 Tudor Black Bay 58. So yeah, definitely an interesting watch. I really like it. Really like the shape, the color, how it wears. It's particular. It's really particular, especially the contrast and the color that the silver is going to give to you. It's different to the stainless steel, and I really think it's an interesting watch to evaluate. I was just about to get it. And I have to tell you guys, in my case, what actually made me stop was the wearability in terms of size. I have a normal wrist. I don't think it's too big nor too small, but definitely it's on the bigger side. It's around 18.5 centimeters, depending on the time of the day. And I am, visually speaking, used to seeing 40 to 42 millimeters watches on my wrist. I think that's the right measure for myself. 39 is a doable, absolutely yes, and I have several 39 millimeter watches, but if the watch presents itself with a, let's say, big bezel, like a diver, a small dial, and colors that make it seem smaller, on my wrist they seem even smaller. And I think that's a little bit the situation on the silver one. Maybe I will get it in time, I don't know, but also the bracelet tapers a lot up to 18 millimeters. I think it's 18 or maybe a little bit less in the closing area of the clasp, and that's also, it looks much more delicate on my wrist. I don't like how it wears. So at the end I opted for the chrono, and it was love at first sight. So let me show you better a little bit of it. The dial obviously reminds us a lot to the Daytona Paul Newman. It's obviously a direct reference, recreation of something that has become very difficult to obtain, because for a normal guy, well, normal, even someone that's not normal, it's very difficult to get one of these Daytonas. Not the Paul Newman, you will definitely not get it, but to get one of the new Daytonas. So having a watch that reminds yourself of something that it's definitely iconic, definitely nice, but also reminds you of a vintage watch that has such a history of as the Paul Newman, I think that's definitely a good play. Are these so much watches from Tudor? I don't really think so. They have the same DNA, they are the same company at the end of the day. Every company nowadays, models like For example, my Submariner, this is the 2021 edition. Are they homaging the original Submariners? Absolutely yes. It is an homage. It is an homage of the original one with several twerks and changes. So is Tudor homaging Rolex? They are born from the same mother and father. If we want to put it on another way, they are siblings. So I don't really think it's an homage. It's more, a celebration of what it was, and a celebration that also offers to a new target of people a line, a design that you will like. So in this case, it reminds us of the Paul Newman. It's a Panda style chrono. It's beautifully well executed. I really, really like how it's been done. You have the classic chronograph bezel with the units per hour to also calculate velocity, that it's fixed obviously to the case. You have the classic Black Bay 41 millimeters case with a little bit of small changes. So in this case, it's a 41 millimeter and it's still going to sit thick or big in some wrists, but they have cut around 0.5 millimeters on the height. So it's 14.4 millimeters height compared to the 14.9. And it's a 49, almost 50 millimeters lug to lug here in terms of size. So it's definitely going to fit a little bit big, but that's okay. So the chrono, obviously, as you can see, the chronograph second hand, it's very delicate, it's very thin. It almost does not disturb you. So I'm going to show you guys I'm going to do another video on this. For example, my Omega Speedmaster Professional, the second hand of the chronograph, it blocks totally the logo of Omega. It's something that I don't like. So I tend to move it and put it somewhere else and just leave it there. So particularly, I don't mind having the second hands here because being it of a silver color, very, very thin with a red tip that actually, as you can see, almost hides in the markings. It doesn't disturb you at all. It's perfectly sits where it should be sitting, and at the same time you still can appreciate the watch, you can appreciate the logo of Tudor, and it does not disturb you because also the logo, it's in black. And being silver in color, the hand almost hides itself, camouflaging itself on the dial. So the dial, it's a white off treated dial. I think it's lacquer because it's opaque, but it under the sun it has kind of a silverish sometimes reflections. The lume they have used on the markers, it's as always superb for Tudor. Immediate brightness as soon as you are outside on the sun. The markers, as you have seen, are centering the dial a little bit more into the middle so that the sapphire crystal they have used to on top of the watch, that it's actually a little bit kind of spherical, it will not disturb you, but actually create this very nice effect on the border that doesn't cut you from seeing the dial because it's a little bit smaller, but at the same time creates a very nice spherical effect. That creates a nice effect also on the Swiss made in the bottom. So what else we can see on the dial? Obviously in red, reminding us of the Daytona, it has the 200 meters, 660 feet, chronometer officially certified, written on the bottom, the date, that it's very delicate and actually does not disturb you. So it's actually a good position for it. I'm going to start it moving. And then you have a chrono with the classical crown. I really like the rose that is being etched here. It reminds me of the Tudor chrono, the Tudor Ranger heritage. The buttons are blocked because you actually have to unscrew them in order to use the chrono. So this is a very nice shows, because actually it makes more impermeable the watch, so 200 meters if you want actually to dive with it or just to have a swim. Obviously, I wouldn't recommend it on the leather strap, but at the same time, it makes it impossible to be activated just by case or chance. So you will actually need to unscrew it. Let's go and see a little bit about the strap. So I tried to decide about the straps when I was buying it, and definitely I think the one with the most interesting characteristics of the three models that you have in terms of straps was the leather one. So you have one in NATO, which is the classic NATOs that it's totally black, but it's the classic NATOs that are being produced by Tudor. You have the stainless steel riveted bracelet. It looks very nice on the stainless steel riveted bracelet. I like how it wears, as always. Once you have a Tudor's Black Bay, it wears exactly the same, and it's kind of a bracelet style because at the end it builds on your wrist. But I think the one that gave me a little bit extra and something different compared to others was actually the leather one. And I think many people don't like it. At least it's what the people in the Tudor shop were telling me, because it's a little bit probably too much for some of them. So this is the back side that you can wear as a bond kind of strap. And you can actually detach it. You don't need to actually use it. But the materials they have used, the leather, it's a vintage leather suede on the back. Very, very soft, very, very nice. It wears very nice as a bracelet on the wrist. And the interesting thing, and having the possibility to actually change it, it's what made me decide. I think personally that the white stitching they have used are actually very, very good for this watch. It suits well the white dial. The other reason I didn't got the stainless steel bracelet is because I already have other Tudor Black Bays with a stainless steel bracelet, and they seem to be universal to all. So if at some point I would like to have a stainless steel bracelet, it's something that I can just switch from one of my other watches. In the case of the leather strap, it would have been very difficult. I would have had to go and buy one, particularly for this, because this is a strap that you will not find on any other Tudor Black Bay. So the clasp, excellent as always. The closure, pristine with the ceramic ball bearings. Very, very nice. It closes very well. The back, as always, and that's one of the things that I really like on the new silver and gold Tudor Black Bay 58, is that this one is closed, but those are open and you can actually appreciate the movement. So in terms of movement, what do we have here? This is not an in-house movement. As you know, it's the same chrono movement that they have been using for a while, and it's part of the partnership that Tudor has done with Breitling. So it's a Breitling movement chronograph. It's an in-house Breitling chronograph. It's very well built, and you wouldn't hear many noises on it, even if you try to rattle it. Obviously, there have been some modifications done by Tudor to the movement. So you have, for example, the silicone spring, and you have also the rotor that is decorated for Tudor, but you don't appreciate it here because it's closed. Breitling is actually putting their movements in showcase with open back cases, especially in the new chronomats. I think that's actually interesting, and I don't see why Tudor should keep this tradition of having closed back case. I think they should start exploring the open case backs also on other watches. So this caliber, it's called MT5813. If you go to the Tudor site, they will say it's a manufacturer cost certified movement, but we know that yes, it is an in-house movement, but it's not Tudor on construction, but it's actually Breitling. And Breitling are using the non-chronograph movements that Kinesi produced for Tudor. So there is an exchange kind of going on between the two brands there, and it's a nice partnership. What else can we say? Obviously, the Panda, I really prefer the Panda one rather than the reverse Panda. I think it lacks, this is my opinion, guys, sorry, it lacks that kind of extra mile in terms of design and fashion on the wrist compared to the white Panda. So I know that this is the year probably of the Pandas. We have seen many watch companies producing Pandas. So let's just have a quick wrist shot so that you see how it wears on my on my 18 centimeters wrist. So I'm going to show you guys, because many people on YouTube have already done reviews and they have already shown this maybe the leather bracelet with the back. I'm going to show you how it shows and how it works without it. And as you can see, if you don't want that extra kind of savage motorbiker style, if you take it out, it's a perfectly fine, good looking watch that you can actually pull off in many other situations. I really like that Tudor is doing the inside kind of closing of the strap like Seiko does. It's much more elegant because you're always going to show the external side, that it's clean to the people that will look it from the outside. I think this is a perfect wearable watch. Very nice on the leather strap, even if you take it out. And the days that I feel like I want to be a little bit more kind of a motorbiker or a style, or I'm wearing my leather jacket, I will just put it on. Very easy to change with a tool, and you have it on a more kind of bone style bracelet. And as you can see, it also wears very nice with the white stitches that are going to come out on the other side, and it gives you a little extra if you want to wear it in a more particularly way. So guys, I hope you like this video. If you like it, please sign up. We are putting constantly new videos, so also click the ring bell button so that you have our updates. And as always, this is a watch that I'm already starting to enjoy a lot, and I hope my point of views can be of use for you if you want to think about it, or it's something that you're considering. So please leave us your thoughts, and see you on the next video. Until then, bye bye.